I'm dishing with musicians. I'm dishing with musicians. A talk show about history. I'm dishing with musicians. I'm dishing with musicians. Let's take a stroll down music history.
Hey, get out of here with that crazy song. I still haven't had time to change it. I think it's going to stick. I don't know. It's kind of growing on me. It's sticking to my bones like good ribs. Man, I don't know what it is. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Here we are again with Dishin with musicians. My goodness, as a part of the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame page. I hope you're tuning in. And tonight is going to be unbelievably fun. I've been looking forward to this for weeks. A mutual friend, Tammy Trahan, who owns the Corner Bar in Fremont, Nebraska, who I love and adore. She just sold the Corner Bar, which is kind of a double-edged sword. It's unfortunate and it's a beautiful thing because now she can move on to do some things she's been looking forward to in life. But we just love her and we're mutual friends tonight. I'm going to welcome on a really cool cat who I don't know that well. Actually, to be honest, I know his music very well, and I've been a huge fan since way back in the Knickerbockers days when I used to see his band play way back. He was probably just a teenager. We're going to talk all about that stuff. So we got Héctor Anchondo joining us tonight, but I just want to talk briefly 1 second about what the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame is. It's a 501c3 in Nebraska here, and our goal is to induct musicians and to talk about music history. And now, during the pandemic, we've had the ability to sort of pivot a little bit, I guess, and kind of do some really fun talk shows and get people involved in different ways. So this has been a huge joy for me and my father putting together. So anyway, if you have any questions tonight, please tune in. You can comment in and be a part of it, which is another really cool thing about this. And I'm so excited because, you guys can ask questions and we can answer them live. So we are live on multiple locations right now. So this is super, super fun. So please do tune in, and I'm going to keep an eye on those comments. We've got 16 people joining us already. So please do your part. Share it right now on whatever you're watching. You can share it via email to your friends if you got a mailing list, or share it on Facebook. It gets all kinds of organic love. And that's how we get more and more eyeballs on the project. So this will be our third episode, ladies and gentlemen. We've had some incredible guests so far. And so these things are going to grow a little bit, and I just have so much fun doing them. So without further ado, I'm going to invite my buddy on, man. This guy is unbelievable player. I mean, just an incredible player and just a super, super sweetheart kind of guy. And he's given us his time tonight to join us on this show. So here he is, Héctor Anchondo, joining us. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Cool, man. Yeah, it looks like, are you in a car at the moment?
Yeah, I'm hanging in the van.
Man, I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. That's super cool. Awesome. Well, this has been a joy. Thank you so much for doing this and being a part of this crazy event. So
thanks for having me.
For sure. I was mentioning earlier that we've got a mutual friend, Tammy Trahan, and she got me in contact with you. So what a sweetheart she is.
Yeah, Tammy's amazing.
Yeah, she says, thank you, Mike. I know she's tuning in out there. So I'm sure mutually you and I are both going to miss the Corner Bar a lot. And I know you play there once in a while. So
yeah.
But you know what? Tammy's on to bigger and brighter things. So good for her, man. She's a huge, huge sweetheart. So but yeah, we do the family jam, Semrod family jam there every year. So we're gonna obviously we're not doing it this year. We do it for Christmas, but so things are gonna change. Things have changed, man. We're in changing times.
Yeah,
right?
We are. Yep. No doubt.
I know you felt it. I've tuned into a couple of your live streams, and they're all of them are just mind blowing. And
thank you.
Cheers to you for bringing that music to people. I know it's a big comfort, and I've had the luxury of being able to do that myself and play for some folks, and I can just tell people are really soaking it up out there. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But tonight, I don't want to jump around too much. I mean, we might. Who knows what happens? I don't have any agenda. Mm-hmm. I don't have agenda with this kind of thing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I just like getting people on as if we're hanging out somewhere, having a drink and just shooting the shit, just talking the
Yeah, that
stuff.
sounds great to me.
And you know what I'm saying? And if people feel kind enough and if they can financially do so, please make a donation to the Hall of Fame, because this pays for stuff like this. All the technical background, and then we also have awards we send out to people and all kinds of stuff. So please donate if you can. But so I got to say, first and foremost, so I used to be a sound guy when I was 19 years old, and I got my first bartending and sound gig at Knickerbocker's downtown Lincoln. You remember Knickerbocker's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could never forget the Knickerbockers.
Yeah, and it was a double-sided bar where the bar was on one side, and then they opened up the place next door, and it was a very similar setup to the corner bar, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But they had an enormous guitar on the wall from when Dick Dale played there, and it was just a gritty, sort of dirty, stinky, beautiful place, and they had great tacos, and it was just an awesome bar, and
Taco
a lot
Tuesday.
of Taco Tuesdays, man, and a lot of really young killer bands got their start there, and when I was doing so I started as a bartender. I take that back. I started as a sound guy, which was crazy because I had no idea what I was doing, but I kind of I used to do some home recordings and stuff, so I kind of knew my way around the soundboard. And a friend of mine got me to come in and train for a couple nights just to see if I would like it. And lo and behold, I did. I ended up working there for like 4 or 5 years. And so during that time, I got to see you, and tell us how old you were at this point, because I think you were just a teenager, if I'm not mistaken.
I wasn't a teenager. I was 20, 21.
Just on the cusp, I was going to say. Yeah, because I'll never forget, you played. I didn't know anything about Anchondo, and this was kind of a band that was a little heavier, a little rockin', if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And it was less blues. It was more, you did blues, but it wasn't just a blues band. It was kind of like all over the place. And I remember hearing some Santana come off the stage, and I was like, I literally, it shook me to my core, and I still have not forgotten it all these years, and I've never talked to you about it. But some of the sounds that were coming out of you as a 20-year-old were earth shattering even back then. So talk to me a little bit about your life and how'd you get playing guitar?
I was always drawn to music and always listened to music from as far back as I can remember. When I was, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years old, I can remember hearing Latino music. Listening to the Latino music.
Yeah.
Way back when my dad was still in the picture.
Sure.
And and there's some of the songs I can still remember. I remember it was the Los Tigres del Norte.
Oh, I love that band. I love that band.
Yeah. And
they're one of the big, larger bands of Mexico. They just did a concert at Folsom Prison.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
They're legends.
Yes.
And I've got to see them in concert once, and I just remember some of those songs. Those are some of my first memories, or some of their songs. And so it's just always been drawn to music, but I think it's something I teach music, and something I talk often with my students is the barriers that we face in music, that everybody faces, or at least I know I did. There was a long time where in my younger years where I didn't think I could play music because music was only for those that were gifted, with music. Is what I thought, that's what I was taught or led to believe, and I was like, okay, that's for those people. And then I, as time went on, I was like, who are those people anyway?
How'd they get that?
Yeah. So, and I was like 15 or 16. I think I might've just turned 16, or I might've been 15 at the time when I realized what I wanted to do. but I think it was a little. I didn't get my first guitar until I was 16. But I was watching. We didn't get TV very often. I grew up on a farm in Missouri, and it's like a 320-acre farm, and
Oh wow.
way out in the middle of nowhere. And and that's we were just out there, and um, so we rarely ever had television. We definitely did not get cable. So there's a lot of you know references that I still don't get to this day. Like the pop culture, at the time.
Oh sure, sure.
All the shows and everything. There's so much stuff that I missed just because I never saw any of that stuff. But we occasionally we would get TV because we did have a satellite dish, and back then it was like one of those huge satellite dishes. It was massive. I think it was like 20 something feet wide.
Yeah, sitting on your yard. Was it in the yard?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but it would always, lightning loved to strike out where we lived. And
Oh wow.
so it would always get struck by lightning.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
so the few times that my mom got it fixed, we'd only have a small window to where we could tune into the rest of the world. And
Whoa, that's crazy.
and so I would always find the music channels.
Yeah.
And um one of the times I was watching, I think it was VH1, and Guns N' Roses came on, and it was November Rain,
Oh god.
and
Yeah.
and that beautiful solo that Slash
Yeah.
played.
Yes.
It was just, it's I still to this day love that solo. And
Which you don't ever notice that his guitar's unplugged. Nobody's ever said anything
yeah,
because it's so beautiful. You don't care.
totally, yeah.
You don't
It's
care.
it's captivating.
I know.
And and that's in that moment I was like, I was like, that's what I want to do.
Oh my god, that was it.
That was
That
it.
was.
And
Oh my
from that
god.
moment, that is the only thing that I've
Wow.
done.
I
And
frequently watch that because my wife's obsessed with it. So we just watched it like last week.
oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he not only has one solo, he's got two. He's got two
Yep.
like incredibly long solos. And that just the whole mystery behind the song and what happened to the girl, and just yeah. Dude, that's blowing my mind that you just said
Yeah.
that. That's incredible. That's awesome. What a great moment to be like, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that Les Paul is just killing. Like
Yeah.
totally. Wow, that's awesome. So you somehow from like it beamed through the lightning bolts and found its way through into your house. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I just, that Christmas I got my first guitar.
Oh wow.
I think my mom let me have it a little bit early too.
Okay. Wow.
And I just started practicing from right away and teaching myself, how to read music.
Oh nice.
And which took me forever to just pluck the notes of Amazing Grace, but
Sure.
I stuck with it. And
Good for you. Not and not
know,
not a lot of players can say that they can read music,
yeah, I mean, I'm not great at reading music, but I can do, I can find my way through it. I can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big deal. And that helps from what I know. I don't read music either, which is a shame. But I kind of can get through it if I really look at it long enough. But it kind of helps with the music theory, like knowing where you're at and kind of being that kind of player, That's pretty cool. That's very cool. So what kind of guitar did you get?
It was, I can't remember the brand. It was an off-brand, but it was a Strat-like guitar.
Okay, Strat-like, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was electric. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. That is crazy cool. I remember getting my first guitar, I think when I was 9 years old. I had an acoustic that I sat with, but I didn't realize what frets did. Like the notion of like pressing. I didn't get it. I didn't understand, like, why are they putting their hands in different places? I didn't understand that until I was older. but I got an electric guitar when I was 9, but I had an acoustic when I was 4, but I just kind of held it because I was kind of a young entertainer around Nebraska, and I used to do state fairs and stuff. But I just held it. I didn't, and then I would sing. I'd sing like Oak Ridge Boys and stuff. But I didn't really know what the guitar did until later in life. I got a guitar when I was 9, and it was a Strat. It was a Fender Strat. And I think it might have been a Squire, one of those entry models. But yeah, and then I realized, you got to push. You got to find, your fingers have to find your way in between these little metal things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, that makes sense. The science behind it hit me,
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating. So when were you actually playing songs? Like, how long did it take you to get through songs?
Oh, pretty much right away I was coming up with little melodies and stuff. But it wasn't, it's kind of funny. At the time I was like, I learned how I got to where I could play chords and stuff fairly quickly. And I really wanted to be able to sing and play.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it for a long time. And back then it felt like an eternity, but
yeah.
I practiced for that whole year. And I think by the end of that year, I was able to sing and play.
Okay.
Still not well, but I was able to do it. And,
right.
And, so that was a big one for me. But as soon as I was able to start to sing and play, I was writing actual songs.
Nice. Oh, wow. So quickly. So you mentioned Amazing Grace earlier. Did you kind of grow up in the church a little bit?
No, I didn't grow up in the church. But I was just always drawn to how pretty some of the music is,
Oh yeah, for sure. Some of the gospel.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And that one, I just love that song so much. And I do a medley of that song and some other, classic country kind of tunes mixed together. And
nice.
I still, to this day, I'm still rocking that song.
Nice, man. That's well, a healthy blend. We can talk more about this like when we get into your later career, but I know you're playing a lot of shows where if you have a healthy blend, you can hit everybody. You can make everybody happy. That's kind of my notion.
Totally.
I'm not really stuck to country or bluegrass or honky tonk, and we do blues, we do R&B. So yeah, it's kind of the same notion. Then you can walk away feeling like you put a smile on everybody's face, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. So you started writing your own songs. Like, you really wanted to be a writer of your own stuff.
I did. I wanted to. I guess I knew that I knew that I wanted to be a performer even before I started playing music. Because I was in, school plays and stuff like that. And so I wanted to write, and I wanted to tell stories and perform, and entertain. So I really wanted to write music as soon as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's what drove me to start writing, that soon after starting to play.
So this is an interesting. So I still remember the first song I wrote. Do you remember the first song you wrote?
I do.
Do you really? Like,
yeah.
What like, if it's not too corny, what was it? Like, tell us a little bit about it.
I think the title was You and Me.
Hey, that's not bad.
And yeah, let me see. I might be able to play a little bit.
Oh, no way! You still know it? That's great.
Yeah, I do still remember it. And
that's awesome.
Oh man, maybe I can't. I'm having. It's not coming to me right away. It's like you and me gonna run. It's like you and me gonna run away forever. And it's
wow.
Yeah. And I haven't written. I kept all my songbooks, and I still have my first songbook that it's in. So
no way, that's crazy.
Yeah, I wish I could remember it. It's almost there, but
yeah,
it'll
hit you tonight.
It hit me tonight. Yeah, for sure.
You close your eyes.
Like, that's it. Damn it. Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah, most of the early songs I was doing were like you know, like 1 5 6 minor 4, you know, like you know, when I learned E minor, do you remember learning E minor as a
Oh
chord?
yeah,
It just like completely changed everything I did.
yeah. E
You know,
minor.
yeah,
Yeah, E minor's awesome.
yeah, it just opened
Yeah,
up. I don't think I left E minor for like 4 or 5 months. I was like, dude,
yeah,
I was just like, yeah, I just strike it and it'd be like, oh my god, that's like the
yeah.
most darkest, powerful.
It's such a force. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because for years I was just doing like, or not years, but months I was doing like G to C and then D. Like what my I think my dad showed me what 1 4 5 meant, you know.
Uh huh.
And for guitar players out there or any music people out there, 1 4 5 is like, you know, if you know 1 4 5, you can pretty much sit in with anybody, you know, really.
Yep.
But then it when I learned E minor, it was like, whoa, wait a minute, that's just. I distinctly remember just opening, like so many doors just exploded open, and it was just incredible. But anyway, so you wrote your own music. Um, when did you start playing in clubs?
Oh, I started playing um, coffee shops and such, and I started playing coffee shops first. Actually, I started playing at school first.
Oh, nice, nice.
I would take my I took my guitar to school. I just about every day, and would play like in between class. I played during lunch, for friends, and
It's like Richie Valens.
yeah, before school, after school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I even like, and there was I had it with me everywhere to the point where occasionally even some friends would get annoyed with me because I was just that's all I would do,
Yeah,
and
that's
and
great.
and so I started performing at school first
Where'd you go to school? Where did you go to high school?
in Salem, Missouri.
Salem, Missouri.
Uh,
Okay, cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
a little high school, a
Nice.
little school in general, a little school, and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. So did you how did you what brought you to Nebraska? How'd you get to Nebraska?
Well, I was born in Omaha,
Okay.
and I still have family and had family in Nebraska.
Okay.
So, and the reason why I moved to Nebraska after I graduated high school, um, was because I had family there, and I wanted to move to a larger city. Um, and at first I was thinking, I was gonna try to move out to LA or New York or
Yeah.
something like that. But I thought it'd be a good idea at the time to just move to maybe like a mid-sized city, just because I'd never had, I had no idea what the city life was like, and so I kind of wanted to ease into it, but
Sure.
also move somewhere bigger that I could expand on my career.
Nice. Nice. Well, Omaha had a killer blues scene.
Yeah,
You know, Nebraska in general's got a killer blues scene. Um, so do
yeah, I
you
remember.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I as soon as I got to Omaha, I started hitting up the open blues jams,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
and yeah, with Dave Barger, and it was at this place called the Pheasant Tavern back then,
Oh, wow.
and you know, and it doesn't seem like that long ago, but there's a lot of the Blues Society folks who were there hanging out. That's when I first met them,
Oh, right.
and yeah,
Sure,
and
sure.
it was amazing getting to actually jam, for the first time like that in that way.
Right, right.
For when moving, after moving to Omaha and going out to that jam and getting to see these just killer players like Dave Barger,
Yeah.
and that was and Brad Cordell would come
Oh,
out,
dude,
and
Brad. Oh,
he
Brad's
would come out occasionally because I don't think he was living in Omaha at the time, but when he would
right.
come in,
Yeah.
he would just
With the
blow the
jailbreakers.
roof off the place.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, Brad's been a close friend of the family for years and years and years. He used to come to the family jams all the time, and yeah, we miss Brad a lot.
yeah, I miss Brad too.
He was a force, major force.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was.
yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, what can you remember the first time that you played the zoo bar?
Yeah, it was. I think it was somewhere. It was somewhere in the 2000s. It was with my band Anchondo at the time,
Nice.
and I don't remember what year it was, but I remember it was a really big deal because I knew it was a legendary blues club, and that was, and the Zoo Bar is the first uh, blues club, especially a blues club of that status that I'd ever played in my up until that
Oh,
point. That
really?
was the first
Oh,
one.
wow. No
Yeah.
kidding. Wow. We got Barbara Caton says she saw you at the Torch Club in Sacramento.
Yeah. What up, Barbara?
Yeah,
Yep.
Barbara's
Yep.
in the
That was
house.
a fun show. I remember that for sure.
Well, check this out, man. I'm gonna blow your mind for a second. Check this out. You know this guy. What up, Chris Lager?
What's up?
Chris.
What's up?
What up?
Look at
see
you, man. You look cozy.
I mean, I got through some logs on the fire. I'm good.
Love it. Love it.
Hey.
Oh, that's great, man. Welcome to the show. I thought I'd surprise Hector with a little Chris Lager.
Yeah.
What's up, Hector? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
Awesome.
Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, likewise.
Man, oh man.
Heck
I know
yeah.
you guys are two of the most integral parts of Nebraska music that I'm talking to at the moment. And I thought it'd just be a beautiful thing to bring Chris on and kind of say hello and and bring up some memories that maybe you guys have. I'm sure you played the Zoo Bar together. I'm sure.
You would think.
Yeah, I think so. At some point.
Maybe
Yeah,
I shouldn't have done this. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
I know
yeah.
you guys have played together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think we have played the zoo at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I've seen you at the zoo, but I don't. Yeah, we may not have played on the same bill at the Zoo Bar.
You guys did a video. I know early on in the pandemic, might have been just right when it hit. I think Hector, did you join Chris for a video, or how did that work? Was that before the pandemic hit? You guys did a video together, something at Chris's place, didn't you?
Yeah, we've been working on some tracks here and there, and just doing some things.
Nice.
And you guys both did the show up and vote.
Yes.
Thing. That was fun.
That was
a lot of
super
fun.
That was very fun.
when I soloed my video, when I was watching it, I just looked like a total moron. But I'm sitting here going like this.
I love it. Bring the energy. It's great.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sounds so fun. Thanks for putting that together, Chris. That was very cool.
Yeah, that was a cool
it
thing.
Was cool.
The original conception of it was that it was going to be politicians. I wrote that song thinking that we were going to have all the people running was going to help me out. And,
oh wow! Okay.
But then they all fell out.
Oh,
like one of them thought it was a bad idea, and they all just like.
Oh no!
So then I was like, well, I'm just going to get Nebraska musicians then.
There you go.
So
that worked out.
It probably worked out for the better anyway.
Yeah, that's a better spider web of marketing anyway. I tell you that. Yeah. Yeah, people share it on their pages, and it got out there, man. People did show up and vote.
Yeah. We got that blue dot. I was feeling good about it.
No doubt. That feels good. Anytime you can sway any Nebraska voters, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. So, yeah, man, this is killer. So I don't know where to go from here. I think this was just a cool moment to, Chris, look kicking his feet up by the fire.
Heck yeah!
That incredible living room. I didn't know you had such a nice place. That's amazing.
I'm just squatting here actually.
Yeah, you squatting? You watching house watching?
I was house sitting.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Oh, there. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Come on.
Awesome.
Crazy cool, man. So I know both of you guys have kind of, done your part in sort of changing up your whole lives. Normally you guys play on the road all the time, right? I mean, I know Hector, you're taking your family on the road with you. Chris, you've got a whole band to take care of and you're constantly touring. Man, I mean, I play, 60, 70 shows a year, but I'm usually tied and tethered to my the state of Nebraska, really. But Hector, how's this changed for you? I mean, what, like, you know, you're still, you're trying to stay afloat. Like, what's it been like?
It's been a mixture of feelings and emotions, and it feels, on one hand, it's been feeling great to get out there, but on the other hand, there's this eerie thought in the back of my mind, like, I love being there and I love playing, and then I keep asking myself, should I be here? Should I be playing? But and then I remind myself I have to make some money to take care of my family.
Right.
And it's just like, it's just been really tearing me apart in a lot of different directions,
Mhm.
and it's it's like, and it's hard, I think as a working musician, it is, you are, for me, I'm feeling pretty good when I'm like booked out, 4 or 5 months, solid, and I'm like, okay, I can count on this next 4 or 5 months for sure.
Mhm.
And then, but even then, it's, like, there's always that feeling, but not, of like, what's next after that. But like right now, it's like a month to month thing,
Mhm.
which is, really takes its toll on me,
Sure.
getting nervous about, making enough, or finding gigs, or if it shuts down again,
Mhm.
what am I going to do? But
Right. So
so it's like a whole slew of things.
as creatives, like Chris, you can attest to this too. We kind of, we let those feelings kind of go inward and, let it affect the music, and in my case, it's inspired me in different ways to write different material. And Hector, have you noticed that, it's done that with you? And, you mentioned it's tearing you apart. Do you kind of let that go inward and let it affect your songwriting at all?
Yeah, I do. It affects my playing. Um, Everything affects my playing. So all these heavy vibes definitely affect. You
Mhm.
know, have been affecting me. But as far as like songwriting goes, um, I always like reflect back. When I'm reflecting back, then that's when the songs start to come to me, and it's hard for me to write the songs in the moment.
Mhm.
You know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like in the tornado, right? You don't
Yeah.
really sit down for a dinner until it's over.
Yeah.
Chris, how about you, man? You've been kind of letting stuff affect you in different ways?
Yeah, I feel like I only have so much creative energy, so I purposely don't post too much or
Mhm.
vent my opinions about things too much. I focus on putting my opinions and beliefs into my songs because
Yeah.
I feel like that's my main creative source. And yeah, there's plenty for me to write about. I'm not having a drought
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
what I can write about, and I'm feeling torn as well because, and it's just starting to hit me because I haven't played gigs in about 3 weeks now.
Mhm.
So I'm really missing that energy and that feeling, that
Right.
juice that only the stage gives you
Right.
and that we're all addicted to. Um, I don't miss the road. I've been on it pretty hard for 20 years. And even my 9-year-old, I only got to see her half the time at best. And so it's nice that I'm spending more time with my kids,
Right.
and I don't miss breaking down and
Yeah.
and the late nights and driving through the night just to get home. And then you're only half the person you want to be when you get home because you're so tired.
Mhm.
I don't miss those things. But those are the things we do, knowing that once we hit that stage, it's where we want to be.
Right.
So, I've talked about this a couple times, how there's so many things that are trying to kick your butt, you know, and not a lot of people know this if you're not a creative or an artist or a musician and there's so many things that is trying to keep you from doing what you want to do. And like the stage is like the payoff. Like I ran the gauntlet and now I get to be on stage. Like now I'm in my, and without the stage, we don't get that. But like I said, I don't have to deal with the trials and tribulations of the road. So I'm enjoying the family time, and I'm considering myself blessed for sure. So you're not going to catch me complaining, you know.
Well, both of your styles are, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I watch both of you play, it's very rooted in the organic. It's very rooted in the improvisational energy that you feed off of from who and what you're around, you know, like the surroundings you're in. And you're right.
Blessing and a curse.
And it's tough to tap into that when you're sitting in front of a computer, you know. But at the same time, I know that it still brings so much joy to people that need it and yearn for it. But yeah, that is a definite switch. I mean, I feel there's a lot of organic growth, you know, when I hear Hector play, for sure. And, you know, that's your leads kind of take you there, you know? So what do you think about that? Am I right on saying that?
Yeah. And it is hard to, you know, it is hard to do it without the audience, you know, and it's, I just have to picture them out there and to make it happen, you know?
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. If you can kind of put yourself in that position, you know, and then put yourself in that place. I know we've all been there a million times before. We can kind of tap into it a little bit that way. But
you know what I was thinking of doing is zooming in the audience. Like Mike, you might know how to do this. You know, is there a way where I can get on a loop of the audience? You know, every couple seconds you get someone else up.
Yeah.
You know?
So, you can do that, man. There's a few different ways to do it. We should talk about that. Zoom offers, like, you know, you can have like 100 people on at the same time. It gets kind of it gets kind of weird though, because you know, if they've got a dog or something in the back and it barks, then their image comes up, you know what I mean? But so you got to make sure to shut that feature off.
Yeah, you might mute them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Mute everybody, but yeah, you could do that. I mean, people have pulled that off for sure. And you know, there's different ways to bring people on. I'm trying all kinds of different things to sort of you know, recraft and redevelop new ways to stream. And we should talk about that. That would be kind of cool to like bring people in. So
you're
doing
cool stuff, so I'm gonna have to pick your brain.
Yeah, man. You know, it's like you guys, I'm just you know, I look around and thankfully I'm not in a position where I'm like totally like beat up financially. So I've kind of used that. I've turned around and twisted my mentality to focus on people. Like 30 minutes before I jumped on with Hector, I was like helping a local business, you know, promote Small Business Saturday. So I've been using the stream to kind of like, you know, do good for the community. And I feel like that's kind of my calling right now, you know, just to kind of help everybody I can. And especially this organization being a 501c3, highlighting local musicians and inducting people, you know, we're just trying to raise money for this. You know, this organization's broke, and so is Mid-America Artists, my agency. Nobody's playing shows. So it's just, you know, it is what it is. You just kind of have to go, well, I guess we're doing this now. So, you know, it's definitely, you know, you feel like a can that's been kicked down the alley a few times. So,
well, at least you know the power of creativity. I feel like that's an under you know, even emphasized part of being a human. Is
no doubt
we all have that desire to. It's like what Hector was saying earlier, how you thought music was just reserved for the people who are great, you know. And we have that as a culture. Like, you know, I remember being at a party when you were a kid and they're like, don't dance, you can't dance, or you can't sing, or that for some reason we beat each other down and we try to squash the creative spirit in us
Right.
when being creative is a super crucial part for mental health. You
Yes.
know, like imagine how mentally more stable all of us would be if we could just realize our power to create and be artistic. And the fact that you know that, and you know your whole family knows that, and it was passed on to you, and it was passed on to us somehow, some way, and that's a beautiful thing. And that needs to be spread even more. You know, there's no superhumans among us. You know, no matter how great a player our favorite players are, they're not 100%. You know, they might be 99.9, and that's why we love them. But they're not 100. They're not perfect. They're not superhuman. You know, they're just like us. You know.
That's a good message. Yeah,
we live in this idolization, celebrity-driven cult, hyper competitiveness, and you know, we need to help put that behind us. You know, just like we did with you know, back in the day, the barbarian days, and you know, we evolve. Like art helps us evolve. It's like I have this opinion regarding like androgynous frontmen, you know, like Mick Jagger, Prince, Michael Jackson, David Bowie, all these guys. I think what they're doing is they're deconstructing this male machismo thing that we have put onto us through our culture. You know, they're showing us that we don't have to be so violent, so competitive, so you know, we don't have to step on people to get what we want. You know, it's a congregation. It's breaking down the barriers and evolving and becoming more in touch with our feelings and connected with each other. And I feel like that's what music's all about. That's what I try to keep in mind. You know, even when like success and fame and fortune ain't there, that's not the overall goal. So I can't let it get me down too much. I can't let it build me up too much, you know, because the overall goal is to just stay creative and hopefully make somebody feel good while you're, you know, and inspire somebody to keep doing it. You know? Well,
both you guys are generous performers. I mean, I don't think there's any ego, in my opinion, when I watch your shows. I mean, really, Chris is all about giving back love. I mean, you probably say the word love.
Yeah, I got an ego. That's why I have to preach to check it.
Yeah,
you know?
But sure. You can't deny ego is there a little bit. But what I'm saying is, when somebody says the word love or feel the love 8,000 times during their show, it's not just about that person. It's about like you said, it's about the you know, the congregation. You know, it's about everybody. Yeah. And I get the same vibe from Hector's show when I see Hector play. It's about, hey, come along with me during this solo, because this solo is not going to be one solo. This solo is going to be like 5 songs within a solo. Like when you solo, dude, it's like you bring it down, you bring it up. It's like 6 songs within one song. And to me, that is a tapestry of beautiful happening. I mean, if people go along with you on that ride, dude, that's it. That's just it. That magic carpet ride.
Yeah, just trying to all together reach that higher state of consciousness together, you know, as a group, a whole group, you know, and that's what music does. That
I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can do that when, you know, you're trying to toot your own horn, you know. I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
You know, people got to go on that ride with you, and it's I get that from both you guys. That's a beautiful thing. It really is. So
well, thanks. Yeah. What I love about Hector and a lot of my favorite players is they're craftsmen. You know, you know that time's been put in and the time's been spent to get better, and it's not a magical gift that you just pull out. You know, I remember this one time I saw this great piano player on a late night show, and I wish I could remember who it was, but it was a fan, you know, a phenomenal player, and he did this crazy lick, you know, the kind that, your brother can pull off, Mike, or or Corey Henry can pull off, these cats. And the host said, "How many times have you played that?" And he's like, "Probably 1 million." And he's like, "Did you play it like that the first time you tried to play it?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, people don't understand. Like, even the greatest of the greats don't come out running. They don't come out the womb running.
Right.
They had to crawl too, just like all of us.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm constantly growing as a player and a songwriter. And, I always have to check myself that there's 1 million people better than me. And but when I look out and I see people dance and smile, it sure makes me feel good. But that's just, I think
there's always someone better.
Yeah.
There's always someone tougher,
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta get inspired and keep it alive.
Yeah, man. No doubt.
It's a beautiful thing. That's what I love about music, though.
Yeah.
There's no finish line. That's my favorite thing.
Right. It's endless. Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people out there are missing us and missing live shows, and they're missing that joy that you just talked about. And Fred Robertson says, "I really appreciate these shows. Went straight from Facebook Live Web Wilder show to watching this. Last time I saw Héctor Anchondo, he played a great show in the backyard of a friend's house in Omaha. These two guys are both very important to live music in Nebraska. Hope I can get back to seeing them soon. Thanks, Fred. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it."
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, I don't know where to go from here, man. This has been super cool. This has been fun. We should just do this all the time. Talk history. I know there's a ton of history. I mean, the Zoo Bar history between even the three of us. I've played there countless times, and I know you two guys are staples there. Zoo Bar's in a tough way right now. I know they're doing like wine sales and stuff, and we're talking about. I'm talking to Pete. Hopefully we can get some live shows going on to honor them and bring some money their way. But a lot of clubs are hurting, So if you are financially capable of giving, please do give to these locations. Even the Hall of Fame would be fantastic. We're using this money to better local musicians, bringing highlight to different places, different clubs, and stuff like that too. So,
Do you remember your first time playing the Zoo Bar, Mike?
Oh man, I do. Now this is going to take me way back. So I think it was a Wednesday night. It was an off night. It was a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and I believe I played there with my brother and I's band, the Simrod Brothers. Yep, and it was this weird, like, kind of Ween music type band. It was weird music. My brother and I, we used to write strange songs. We had a song called Weasel, and it was very, very odd. But we were kind of that was the times. I mean, we wrote funny songs that turned into jams, that turned into space, and somehow they let us play the Zoo Bar. I don't know how, but then a few months after that, I think I was asked to get up and play with somebody, and then from that point on, I was just hooked. I was like, oh man, this place is, forget about it. This place is unbelievable. I mean, seeing the people I saw when I was 19 years old, I was too young to get in, and my wife and I went on our very first date together, and it was Luther Allison's last show at the Zoo Bar.
Oh man!
Wow!
And we got to sit with our backs to the glass, right by the front door, and I have a picture of it, of us sitting, and it was a sold out crowd, and Luther was playing inside. It was his last show.
Wow. That was the one that got taped by NETV, right?
TV, yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to have that on VHS. I used to watch that all the time.
Cameras are still there. They left the cameras behind. They had so much fun that night. They just left their shit behind. The cameras are still up on the ceiling. They just kind of left them there. Oh, wow. That was. I still remember it was our first date, and that worked out just great. I think I was I got some points on that.
Wow.
So yeah. So
yeah, Luther is one of my time machine artists. If I could take a time machine, I'd love to see Luther Allison. What a great musician.
Yeah.
He just brought that heat every time.
Every time. And he left soaking wet. just like
Yeah.
sweaty mess. Like, you
Didn't
know,
he play like 5.5 hours that night?
I don't think he took a break at all, it seemed. I mean, he just kept going and going and going. And it was just an epic, epic performance. I think people were leaving that place exhausted, you know. They were just done, you know. But that was some of the early stuff I remember. Sean Benjamin, obviously, he's been playing with the family forever. We used to go see him play all the time. And Sean, I mean, even up until the end, he was bringing it, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, I got to play with Sean a couple times where it was like there'd be a pause between songs for 2-3 minutes, it seemed. And it was just silence. And then all of a sudden he would nod at somebody and they just knew what he was going to do. And then all of a sudden we started playing a song. And it was just like a magic that was not communicated by words. It was communicated only by feeling. And that's how Sean rolled, man. I mean, he was just like, all right, that's what we're going to do now.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he just had a magic about him. And he played with us every year at the Simrod Jam in Fremont. And man,
He was one of
that.
my first mentors. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I played the Zoo Bar was with Sean Benjamin.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow.
And Little Slim, Little Slim was on bass. Sean Holt.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an open mic, and that was one of the last couple of years. Larry owned the bar.
Oh wow.
And I was like 17 at the time, and Larry let me come in with my folks and get on stage, and Sean was playing guitar. I think Bo Rose was on drums, if I remember right. Yeah. He was running sound and doing the drums.
He drums too. My God. So when I was in grade school, I went to grade school with Jeff at Prescott, and I used to spend the night over their house because they lived right by Prescott. I was a couple blocks away, and I'd always be like, man, there's like people in your driveway, and there's like people staying at, like, huge blues guys staying at the house. What's going on? And Jeff's like, oh, they're my dad's buddies. They're my dad's buddies. It's like, oh, I never. And then years later, I put 2 and 2 together that they're like touring musicians that were playing like week stints at the Zoo Bar, and he would just put them up at his house.
Right.
And these are guys like
back in the day, you could do
like Luther. And, these were like Matt Guitar Murphy, and you know these kind of guys just walking around as we're just playing in the driveway as like 9-year-olds. You know, it was like, wow, oh my God. So that was kind of our upbringing. You know, it's just like, wow.
Yeah, Hector, could you imagine life on the road when you can do a 5-night stint somewhere? And
yeah, it's not like that anymore.
A little bit easier to connect the dots.
Yeah, that would be so nice just to like move to a different place once a week or once every couple weeks. You know, wow.
That's how it was. My dad talks about that a lot. They'd play shows in Colorado, and they just stay there all summer. You know, and he paid his way through college playing shows in the summer in Colorado.
Different times.
I know, man. All week long, they just bounce around to different bars, play week stints here and there. That was a real common thing.
That was before you could hit spacebar to play the whole night.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, it's different times. Even in Lincoln, there was tons of great clubs that would put bands up all week. Little Bows would do that, and tons of really great old clubs like that. But yeah, Zoo Bar, I think, did that quite often too. If they'd play multiple nights, I can even remember Billy Bacon doing that, like in the last 10 years. You know.
Yeah, him and Magic were a couple of the few guys that you could still see the whole week blocked out for him on the Zoo Bar calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. Wow. Well, man, this has been special. This has been very cool for me. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you guys had a good holiday, good Thanksgiving. You got all that food. You got some leftovers left over, I hope. I know I do.
Too much food.
Too much.
Yeah.
Don't put your feet in that fire now, Chris. Don't fall asleep by that.
It doesn't need another log.
Yeah.
Log on that thing.
It's getting hot in here. Yeah.
Well, hey, let's do this again. This was very fun. You know, I love dish. They call it Dishing with Musicians. The idea kind of was conceptualized that I would get people on and talk about food. I might as well ask, Hector, what did you make? Did you make a turkey?
Actually, I didn't do the turkey. I made pecan pie,
That's my favorite.
and I made some spinach artichoke dip,
Nice.
and I made some jalapeno poppers,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, I just kind of did that. The
Wow.
pecan pies though, I was pretty excited about,
Nice.
and I didn't have any bourbon um, to throw in the pecan pies, so I used some JMO. Throw some
Hey,
Jameson in there.
that's an Irish pie, man. There you go.
Yep, I was like, it's gonna work, and it was
Go.
good.
That's awesome, man. How about you, Chris? What'd you guys have?
Oh, my wife did it up real nice. She doesn't let me in the kitchen though. She takes care of all the.
Nice.
She just wants me to keep the kids out of the kitchen so that she can handle it. But yeah, she killed it. She killed the turkey, the dressing, the green bean casserole.
Oh man.
She made some great gravy to go
Nice.
with it. Deviled eggs, mashed potatoes.
Nice.
The usual staples. Yeah, it was
Wow.
nice, and it was great. Of course, we missed the extended family, but it was nice not to run around. It was
Yeah.
nice to just keep it simple, and so it was once again. It's I miss everybody, but at the same time, it's a lot more simple, and
Yeah.
and I relish the fact that we got to keep it tight and
Yeah.
within the immediate family was
Good for you.
definitely stress free. So that was good.
Nice, man. Yeah, we actually, my wife, we decided not to do a turkey this year. We went full Cajun. So she made crawfish etouffee, or she made shrimp etouffee, and crab cakes.
Nice.
And yeah, it was, oh, dude, it's my favorite. So yeah, so she asked me last week. She's like, "You want to do a turkey?" And I was like, "Let's do something different. Let's get crazy. Let's make some etouffee." I haven't done that. We've made gumbo, we've made jambalaya, we've never made etouffee, and it was awesome. It was great.
Here comes some Zydeco. You're gonna make a Zydeco record
Yeah,
now.
no doubt, man. I'm get all those
that
spices.
Cajun.
I know all that paprika and stuff in my blood. Start singing some Zydeco stuff. I'm gonna get a squeeze box. So yeah, I got a bunch of that waiting for me with big old pieces of sausage, and yeah, it was great. It was great. So we and then she made this banana pudding that was just off the chain with little wafers in it and stuff. Man. Yeah,
You know what I've never had is figgy pudding. Have you ever had figgy pudding?
That might be the same thing.
It might be. But yeah, I keep hearing it like on Christmas songs and Christmas movies. And I'm like, yeah, I've never had figgy pudding.
I don't know. Does anybody out there listening know what figgy pudding is? Let's see if anybody comments in. I've not heard of that. But I think the little vanilla wafers, that might be similar. I'm not sure. But
yeah, I mean, I imagine it's just fig pudding, but
yeah.
Never had it.
Figgy pudding. That'd be a good song right there.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds like a funky instrumental.
Yeah, it does. There you go. Funky instrumental.
How's your old man doing, Mike?
He's doing good, man. He's listening right now. He's out there listening.
Yeah. What's up, Pinky? Talk about legendary.
Yeah, he's come a long way, man. He beat cancer twice, and he's I got to hang out with him about a month ago. We met in Wahoo and socially distanced, walked around some graveyards and discovered our great like 4 greats relatives, our Czechoslovakian relatives in near Wahoo, a place called Abbey, Nebraska. And he's a total genealogy dork, so he just loves that stuff, man. He goes deep. He goes way, way back, like before Ellis Island kind of stuff. And so, yeah, we got to spend some time together, and we got to go inside the smallest church ever, capacity 4 people, in this little town near Abbey, Nebraska. So that was pretty twisted. They had this coffin with this like mannequin that had real human hair laying underneath the altar. It was bizarre, really weird. But Dad loves that weird stuff, man. He's always like sniffing out the weird. I do too. So, but we had a great time. It was great to see him. But he's doing really good. Thanks for asking. Nice. He's rocking, doing his thing, man. He told me he got some new socks with pads on the bottom the other day. He was really excited about those. So He probably has a fire. He probably got a fire just like you got going. So,
his probably puts out a little bit more heat than mine does.
Yeah, yeah, it does, man. World of green. Yeah, this is the magic we're up to. I had a Brady Bunch background the other day. Now I've got electric boogaloo, breaking 2 electric boogaloo background because I used to break dance when I was a kid.
Nice. So, I actually thought about switching it up after I saw yours.
Yeah. But I had a Brady Bunch thing the other day, and this guy on Facebook, he goes, "Man, your house looks awesome." He's like, "Looks just like the Brady Bunch." I was like, "Bro, that is the Brady Bunch house."
Right? I know it took me a second too, because I saw the video you did with your son the other day. That was great.
Oh man, we get weird. This guy called me from the it was from some pharmacy, international pharmacy or something. I get prank phone calls like 16 times a week, you know. Oh, yeah. And I just happened to have my stream up, so I hit record and I got him. And this guy was trying to sell me some hydroxychloroquine, and so I made a big joke about it. Hydroxychloroquine.
I saw that too. So, I can't believe that, man.
I took him for a ride. I just love messing with people like that, though.
These people are ruthless. Yeah, I don't even answer my phone if I don't know the number.
I'm telling you, they keep calling. So I said, I'm gonna screw with these people. And the one I recorded wasn't even like that good. Normally, I stay on the phone with them for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I mess with them the whole time. So it's gonna be my new thing. I'm gonna try to have my stream up all the time.
I like that.
Yeah. Dude, man. Well, we better close this down, man. I don't know how much Hector's time is, but this has been amazing, man. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Chris, we got to get you on and we'll dig deep in the Chris Lager onion and
let me know.
I'm down. History. And thanks for sharing your history with us tonight, Hector. That was fantastic and beautiful.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, I love you guys. Take care. Spread the love. And we'll do this again. All right, guys. Have a good night, y'all. Peace out.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.